Good afternoon and welcome to ZTN News Blitz. A look at our top stories. Zimbabwe reduces sum of COVID-19 social grant beneficiaries. 9 recover from COVID-19 in Zimbabwe. Comedian Ray Vines brags of his $1,000 savings. And in sport, Zim boxer keeps Chisora dream fight alive. 9 people have recovered from COVID-19 in Zimbabwe so far, and the country has not recorded any new cases of the virus in more than a week. So far, 17,735 tests have been carried out and 34 have emerged positive. 4 people have died from the virus since the first case was reported in March. Health and Childcare Minister Dr. Obadiah Moyo is, however, not reading much into the low number of cases and the fact that no new cases have been recorded in over a week.
We've received a lot of questions as to why we haven't been getting any positives, in the last 7 days or so. This is the picture which is coming up, but it does not necessarily mean that we are over the disease in Zimbabwe. It's possible that we'll still be able to get, more positives. So the issue is we are not going to be relaxing, because over the last few days we've managed to get all negative. We have to be much more serious, and we have to make sure that we continue applying the measures to stop COVID-19.
World Health Organization country representative for Zimbabwe, Dr. Alex Gasasira, warned authorities not to be complacent.
Still encourage that this continues to be the case. We don't relax. The worst thing that could happen is that people start relaxing, thinking that 7 days have passed, no case, we don't have this transmission in our country. We recommend that we continue to be extremely vigilant. We are happy that despite the fact that there are no positive cases, the amount of testing is increasing, and we are aware that this testing includes people who may be at risk of having the infection and may not have to be detected.
Chairperson of the Parliamentary Portfolio Committee on Health and Childcare, Dr. Ruth Laborde, is skeptical of the latest figures.
Now, that curve should be worrying us more than anything else, especially when cases are going up in Zambia, they are going up in Mozambique, they are going up in South Africa. Why are we as an isolated land when we are actually receiving our returnees and yet have no positive? I believe in our test kits I'm confused. Being stored in the right place, why is it we are an island? Is it the grace of God, or is that our test kits are expired, or we're just not testing enough, or our criteria for testing is not correct?
As the economic effects of COVID-19 hit home, Zimbabwe has reduced the number of people who will benefit from the COVID-19 social grant from 1 million to 500,000. Treasury dispersed a 600,000 Zimbabwe dollar fund, which is set to be dispersed starting on Monday. The money will be dispersed under a cash transfer program for the next 3 months to mitigate the impact of COVID-19. The number of beneficiaries has been slashed from the previous 1 million, which was initially targeted. Beneficiaries under the facility will be identified through the Social Welfare Department. Zimbabwe Secretary for Social Welfare, Simon Masanga, spoke to ZTN.
Yeah, we are still verifying the data. I can only confirm on Monday. We want to make sure we are paying the correct people, so we are claiming the data, and we should start payments by weekend paper.
Zimbabwe's banking sector, which has already lost close to 8,000 jobs to digitization, is bracing for more job losses as the effects of the coronavirus pandemic continue to be felt. Zimbabwe Banks and Allied Workers Union President Peter Mutasa told ZTN correspondent Ndaka Majaka that 3 out of the country's 13 commercial banks have already let contract workers go. Zimbabwe anticipates that the banking sector is going to shed off an additional 2,000 jobs over the next 3 years.
Yes, now the banking sector has been shedding off formal jobs and increasing its automation and digitalization. We are expecting that in 3 years we would have lost half of the remaining employment or jobs in the sector. We are currently around 4,000 jobs in the sector, down from as much as 12,000 10 years or 15 years.
Registrar General Clement Masango, who was arrested on Wednesday for criminal abuse of office, appeared in court today. He appeared before Harare Magistrate Bianga Makwande. The registrar is accused of flouting tender procedures in procuring 5 government vehicles. He's also accused of taking 7 other government vehicles to his farm. Last week, Masango clashed with the chief accountant in his office, Mr. Peter Bwanya, who accused him of abuse of office. Masango denied all wrongdoing, saying Mr. Bwanya was fighting disciplinary action over alleged incompetence and misbehavior. The state is opposing bail. Now, moving on, commuters in Harare, Zimbabwe's capital, continue facing transport challenges to and from work as the sole public transport operator, ZUPCO, remains overwhelmed. Under Zimbabwe's level 2 lockdown, only ZUPCO buses are allowed to ferry people to and from work. The public transport utility has also enlisted some private commuter omnibuses to assist with the demand. These only ferry a maximum of 8 people. Some commuters who spoke to ZTN say they sometimes wait for 3 hours or even more before they get transport to and from work.
Tatambudzika fanaka sedziva resekweni station tasvika pana 10 tiri kubva kuzvipatara nevana vari kurwara iyozvi takangovatakura vaakutonyanya kupisa zvokuti unoshaya kutodzokera kupi nenyaya yekushayika kwetransport
nokuti transport ikawanda ndokuti vanhu vaitochi vafambe mune zvakanaka ndo zviri kunesa pari zvino.
tasvika pana voma10 tataona.
Comedian Ray Vine's real name, Melusi Chirpowako, says staying at home due to the lockdown has been a tough experience. He has taken the time to develop himself in many facets. The comedian was recently on the spotlight after saying dancehall musician Winky D is not doing much to help upcoming artists.
Lockdown it's been tough. Was it a jail? My road runner. Road runner rana but I'm going to get him team. So no words I'm but I think adjust it. Because most online, she want my videos and stuff. She research. It's a high moment for she research. Because of lockdown. So let's say win and they lose. Amen. Lose, win. Amen. Half.
He added that besides watching various movies and documentaries, he has been discovering ways to make money online.
I've discovered a lot of ways to make money. Yeah. Yeah, online. Yeah, because I think you I would say I'm going to do to find adjust to business online. Because you change, if you see, you change. Just like you do business, I'm going to do modern business. Right now, I'm going to perform. I think the way I actually find a way to get online.
The budding comedian boasted that at just 20 years, he has savings running to over 1,000 United States dollars.
It's paying, bro. It's paying. Then to Morimu, you just am 20, bro, but look at the gara. Just what I percentage 100,000 years and I can get my 100, and I'm 20. So you need under problem. I'm making money. I'm into Forex. I'm into YouTube. YouTube pays. Forex pays. My Instagram, like I do ads for companies, many companies. Yeah, they pay. Forex trading, online Forex trading. Yeah, I'm into that. I got a team into Forex trading online. So
Coronavirus could be spread through sex, experts now fear after they detected the infection in the semen of recovering man. Researchers in China analyzed semen samples from 38 men who tested positive for COVID-19. Some had recovered while others were infectious. 1 in 6 had traces of the coronavirus in their semen, including those who were no longer sick. Top infectious disease experts admitted the findings were not surprising because viruses such as Zika and Ebola are present in semen samples. New data released on Thursday suggests blacks in the UK are 4 times likely to die from COVID-19 than whites, and a number of other ethnic groups are also at an increased risk. A report by the Office for National Statistics found black women, defined by the study as black Caribbean, black African and black other, are 4.3 times more likely to die with COVID-19 than white women, while black men are 4.2 more times likely to die. People of Bangladeshi and Pakistani, Indian and mixed ethnicities also had a statistically significant raised risk of death, the report also found. Will Zimbabwe's boxer Elvis, the bomber Moyo, get his date with Derek Chisora? It is a dream that the former WBF Africa heavyweight champion continues to hold on to. Elvis believes he has no match in Africa. And before he called it a day, he wants Zimbabwean-born British boxer Chisora for the bragging rights. Elvis was speaking to ZTN from his base in South Africa.
Just before the timing, I can get to fight Chisora because, there is no heavyweight in Zimbabwe now, other than me, which is obviously on my level, and there is Chisora, who is Zimbabwean, but he's at a very, very top level, and believe me, if I do fight him for bragging rights, Zimbabwean heavyweight champion of the decade, 2010 to 2020, or the decade 2015 when he started making too much noise, to 2025. This is the decade, so we just do the great rights for everybody. It will be amazing, and it will be amazing.
More than 20 Zimbabwean football players, led by reigning 2019 Soccer Star of the Year Joel Ngodzo, could find themselves in the cold if the Zambian league adopts the quota system. This will see a significant reduction of the foreign players in each team this year. Now, former Highlanders coach and now Biltcon coach Calvin Kayindu gives his view on the issue.
When it comes to the advantages, it shows how strong your economy is doing, that you are able to attract foreign players. It also brings a lot of competition in the team, especially that most of the foreign players, when they come in your country, they must have a certain pedigree for them to qualify to play in your local league. I remember even when I was coming to coach in Zimbabwe, there was a certain qualification that was required for you to come and work as an expatriate. And these are some of the advantages, and some of the players that we bring are those that probably we have seen playing in the Confederation, in the Champions League. But when it comes to the disadvantages, I think one of the things probably which disadvantages also the locals. There are 1 or 2 clubs here that have got their squad, which is made up 3/4 of the foreign players.
Formula One CEO Chase Carey says they have held discussions with circuits that are not on the original 2020 calendar as plans to resume the season continue. Following the disruption caused by the COVID-19 crisis, Formula One has revealed its aim to launch the campaign at the Austrian Grand Prix in July. They also plan to hold as many races as possible this year. In cricket, India has expressed concern over the possibility of hosting the T20 World Cup in October as per schedule. The coronavirus pandemic has forced all sporting disciplines across the world to cancel or postpone. Indian Premier League has also been postponed, and the Board of Control for Cricket in India believes it will also be impossible to hold the T20 World Cup for the same reasons. And that's all we had for you on ZTN News Blitz. Thank you for watching.